Well, I'm going to call this meeting to order. We have one item of discussion. It's a discussion and possible action to approve or disapprove a management services agreement for the Homestead Retirement Center between the Alva Hospital Authority and the Alva Utility Authority. I think the City of Alva and us coming together for the benefit of the homestead is something that is good. I think the residents have been in question over the last year is what is going to happen to their care, who's going to be managing them, who's going to be taking care of them. And I think this kind of can put that to bed and give them a peace of mind that it will be local folks that are out to look for their best interest and to take care and give them the same quality care that they've been receiving before. And so I think this is a win-win. The city has lost money doing this, and hopefully we can turn that around and make it a profitable one while maintaining the high quality of care that those residents wish to receive. So I think it's a win-win situation. You all have a contract in front of you. It is a 5-year contract. In that contract, in the first 6 months of the contract, we will receive compensation in the amount of $14,234 a month that will come from the city. This is an amount of money that the city has been putting into it already, so it's not something that they're having to expend more money. But we kind of felt like, we didn't get to this situation overnight. We're not going to get out of it overnight. But this will, for the first 6 months, we will receive that compensation. The following 6 months, we would get $6,100 a month. And then at the end of 12 months, that goes away. So from that point forward, the city will start really after 6 months, the city will start saving money on the homestead. And then after that, the city will be saving upwards of, in their numbers, over $200,000 with everything else a year that will go back into the city coffers, and we'll be taking over running the homestead from that point in time. Is there any questions in regards to the contract, or if there's something I've left out?
Mr. Chairman, what's the effective date going to be?
September 1. It's not in this contract, but we will be appointing Cody to be the interim manager of the homestead, and I think that's good. That's a good thing. That's really what can make this happen. He's got significant history over there. Those residents feel very comfortable with him, and he has a knowledge base that will help propel this thing forward. So it's a good deal.
Mr. Chairman, it's my understanding that if the City of Alva agrees to this, City Council, that the people that are employed there, their employment will terminate as of the last day of this month?
With the City of Alva, but they will all have the opportunity to continue. They'll be given the opportunity to submit an application to come to work with us.
And that'll be at the same terms as they currently are employed?
It'll be the terms as the same terms of our employees here, any benefits, anything like that.
Okay.
We will go over there actually this afternoon. We have an employee meeting at 2 and a resident meeting at 3, and we'll explain all those things. We'll actually take applications with us. We hope to let them know by Friday whether they have a job with your medical center or not. So for the most part, everybody should know by Friday.
Yeah. How will this affect their retirement that they have with City of Alva?
It will roll. It's in the same. It's OMRF, and that's where theirs is now, and that's what we use as well. So there will not be any. They won't lose anything.
So if the city's been losing money on this, how are we not going to lose money on it?
Well, there's some things that are where we're going to be able to consolidate services. There's duplication in there now. There's also things that that we can do that they can't, that to be able to save money. One might be we'll just use food as an example, where we are a volume buyer, they haven't been. So that's just one little piece that we'll be able to save some money on that they can't right now. And there will be some other shared services. The same thing as what we do with the nursing home now. There's shared services that we have between the hospital and the nursing home that if each one was independent and not together would cause their bottom lines to be completely different than what they are, because somebody that's maybe part-time here and part-time there has to be full-time one or the other. Okay, well, you're going to be able to do that same thing at the homestead. And so when you combine all those things, you're able to save them money, which will make their bottom line look better. Now, is that a guarantee? Nope. I mean, there's still a lot of work that's got to be done. And if it was that easy, the city would have already done it. So
it seemed like when I was looking at numbers before that ultimately, if we could rent out all the rooms that are available, we would be fine. So, Cody, how are you going to do that?
Well, first of all, there's not ever been any really marketing support, so that would be the first start, is having access to Kelly and his abilities in the marketing area, and that type of thing would help significantly. I think particularly in the last year or two, the stability and certainty of the facility has not been there, and that's when a lot of money has been influxed into the community with the oil field and things like that, which might make more people able to move than were able to move before. And since that has happened, there's been a lot of instability and uncertainty there. And I think that to capitalize on the element of this, that this is a 5-year agreement initially, and to say that, for 5 years we can guarantee that this facility is going to be here, it's going to be locally owned and operated, and I think that will provide quite a lot of security to the people who are considering moving there.
And the other component of it, and I mean the city has said this as well, is that this is more in our arena than it is theirs. And so that'll help as well.
Yeah. And while the homestead is not a medical facility, but this board is comprised specifically of people who have knowledge of that field, the medical, the elder care, that background, and I think that the knowledge base behind the board itself. And I think the city council would be the first to admit that that's not their area of expertise. They're more business, and this is more service-oriented board. So,
any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve a management services agreement for the Homestead Retirement Center between the Alva Hospital Authority and the Alva Utility Authority, subject to the terms and conditions as presented.
I second.
We have a motion by Steve Knox and a second by Darlene Sanderson to approve the management services agreement. Any other questions? Not? Roll call vote, please.
Erickson?
yes.
Gasper?
Yes.
Kinsey?
Yes.
Knox?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Sanderson?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is good for the residents. I think it's good for the city of Alva, and I look forward to helping serve those people and this community, and having that continuum of care, I think, is also important. So, with that, We're adjourned.